Let me see what we got here early on in the morning already. The dude is chiming in. Max Support is also in. Flipside Fishing, GPP Central. Dominic Veluso says, let's see what drama comes up today. Lewis Jones says, what's up, Big O? Let's talk sports. Fins on this beautiful Friday. The dude says, breeze to Miami. Done deal. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You mean, is it a northern breeze or is it a southern breeze? East, west? Where's the breeze coming from? Let's see, what else do we have? The Dolphins should have waited for Gurley, but everything happens for a reason. Let's just start off with that right now, right? Let's just get into this. I'm glad the Dolphins didn't. Whatever reports out there about them interested in Gurley, I guess that wasn't true because he became a free agent. That he signed a 1-year deal for $5 million for Atlanta. The dude is toast. I don't want him. I'm sorry. Look, you guys have to understand this, and some people may not be able to understand it and comprehend how they're building a football team. And I think we've done a really, 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 really good job of explaining everything from the beginning that's gone on, from the transition that there was no tanking, the way they were building the football team while everybody's thinking about quitting all that. I'm telling you, no, they're building through youth. Everybody figured it out now. JT the Brick, I did an interview with him yesterday on his show, and the first thing he mentioned, he goes, I got to give you credit because I was wrong, and I was with everybody else about tanking, and as the season went on, we realized that they weren't really tanking. They were doing what you said. They were building through youth. And by the way, what happened in free agency? More youth. They didn't sign old guys. They signed young guys. What did I tell you they were going to do? Sign young guys. Did I not tell you that? Have I not told you they're not just going to go out and give stupid contracts anymore? Todd Gurley's a stupid contract. I get it. It's 1 year. He has to prove it, all that. His knee is toast. There's nothing to prove. He's not the guy. And if he kills himself this year, he kills himself to beat that knee even more into the ground. There's a reason why they don't talk about it. There's a reason why the Rams dodged it for 2 years. People would ask him, well, what's going on with Todd? Oh, no, he's just fine. Yeah, he's fine. That's why you let his ass go? Come on, man. All those riders around the Rams are sitting there going, man, we kept asking you about Gurley, and you dodged it. And that tells you all you need to know. The guy they gave all that money to, the guy they're willing to take a $9.2 million cap hit this year and a $17.2 million cap hit next year. That guy. Okay? Obviously, he wasn't the dude anymore. That's why they got rid of him. That's why they drafted Darrell Henderson last year, because they were preparing. It's kind of like I tell you, the Dolphins will draft a center because Karras will be your starter, and then you'll bring that young center along, and eventually he'll either start by the end of the year or he'll start next year and you cut Karras. Or you bring him back as a swing guy to play backup center or guard or anything like that. And there's going to be roles on this team. And a lot of you saw it last year, how the game plan changed from 1 week to another. That's going to happen all throughout, whether it's offense, defense, it doesn't matter. And that's why the running back they did sign has a role. He's a power back. He's going to help you. You know, Jordan Howard is a guy that's going to help you with all the short yardage stuff. So if you do get a back in the draft, which I believe they will, you don't burn them out. So you have a 1-2 punch. You have them both in the backfield at times, where the other guy will be a pass-catching guy. So you can keep the defense off balance a little bit. But when it's 4th and 1, and you're going to line up with the extra tight end, or you want to bring out an extra tackle, and you're going to put Jordan Howard, and it's 4th and 1, and we're shoving it down your throat, whether you like it or not, because we've got a guy that's averaged 4 yards a carry. That's why they got him. That's why it's only $5 million, because there's a role. He's not going to be featured, but he will be there to punish people. He will be there when you have the lead in the second half. And in the fourth quarter, guess who's going to get the ball? Jordan Howard. There are situations that you will use Jordan Howard. There are situations where you won't use Jordan Howard. The passing game. It's just the way it is. But there'll be a role. And he's been very successful in his career. Okay? Even though he's one-dimensional, he's super strong at that one-dimensional. Have you seen the man's thighs? Have you watched the man run? He runs hard. He is a load. And that's exactly what you want out of it. Can Todd Gurley do what he does? Not anymore. And can you count on Todd Gurley? And by the way, is this a precursor to Tua? Because, everybody says, well, they like Tua, this and that. The owner came out and said, well, he's injury prone. I don't do the drafting, those guys do, but that's a guy we would be concerned about. And that meeting, they treated him like everybody else. Maybe they're not in love with Tua as much. Maybe they're not going to deal with the injuries either. I am so glad the Dolphins stayed the hell away from Todd Gurley. Man, this is about building for the future. This is about, and again, Howard, 25 years old. And now when you draft a kid, he'll be what, 21, 22? So you'll have a nice young running back, maybe 20, who knows? So you'll have a couple of young running backs. That other running back will be a multifaceted back. And you're going to see a lot of New England now. You know how New England has multiple backs? Because they have multiple roles. See, that people, you keep thinking like old Dolphins, well, they're just going to go buy old guys and they're just going to throw their money around. No, they didn't do that. They're going to hang on to some of these guys and they're going to use Band-Aids to get by. No, they cleared out everybody. They got rid of every bad contract. This is a different Dolphins team. This is a different coaching staff. This is a different front office. This is a different way of looking at things. They're actually doing things that make football sense. Listen, for you older guys out there, don't you remember Shula? I mean, Jim Jensen had a role. Running backs, Tony Nathan had a role. Tony wasn't going to be the guy you were going to give the ball to 25 times. But how was he coming out of the backfield catching the ball? You understand what I'm saying? Shula did the same thing back in the day. Shula had roles for people. Depending on what you were is how he used you. If he knew you couldn't do this, he wasn't going to make you do it. That's what these guys are doing. We're not, listen, I know he passed away, and I don't want to pick on him too much, but we're past the Tony Sperano phase, bro. We're not celebrating field goals. Flores is going to be sitting there pissed that he had to settle for a field goal. Okay? We're not using Reggie Bush as a running back. Do you understand what I'm saying? If these guys had Reggie Bush, how do you think they would use him? As a pass catcher. So they are constructing a football team. They got a fullback. They got a power running back. Now they will get themselves that back that is the quick guy, the guy that can house it, the guy that can catch, the guy that's dynamic. That's the guy that's next. Because you notice they're filling all the other roles. And can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, when you draft a couple tackles here in this upcoming draft, you beefed up the offensive line, and you got that fullback, and you got Jordan Howard, and it's 4th and 1, and who the hell are you going to stop? because you ain't stopping the Dolphins. What's up, baby? So we're going to rock out here building the team the right way. There's a reason why I've been super excited since they took over a year ago. Okay? And it was weird. A lot of you out there were looking at me like crooked-eyed and like twisted and all that when I'm telling you, oh, I can't wait. I love this season coming up and all of that. Hell, even Bill said it to me like, really? Yeah, man. And then as the season wore on, aren't you having fun? I know we're not having fun with Corona. I know we hate being limited. I know we hate being trapped in our houses and we can't live our lives and we're not getting to see the Heat and we're not getting to see the Panthers and we're not getting to see the Marlins and Canes and everything else going on. We don't get to go to Vegas for the damn draft. Oh, man, do I hate that. But all of that. I get that we have, our lives have been disrupted. A lot of us are going to head for bankruptcy. Businesses are going to close. I get all of that. I get it. I get it. But I'm enjoying this. This is the only getaway I have. This is the only escape I have right now. And everything is depressing, man. Depressing. I get it. I mean, and I didn't want to mention it, but I'll mention. I'll give you a little personal thing for us and our family. My daughter studies medicine. A lot of you know that. She goes to UM Medical School. She got accepted to Harvard for a medical program this summer. It's been canceled. You know how crushed that kid is? You know, you get a full ride for the summer for a medical program where you're researching cancer cells and stem cells and all that because she's going into research. My daughter got that opportunity for Dartmouth, for Cornell, Dartmouth, Cornell, Yale, and Harvard. And she chose Harvard. Now she loses this. Like she doesn't get to go anymore. Can you imagine that? I mean, that's some of the stuff all of you are going through. You know how many people are losing out? Like, I'm losing out on going to the draft. Meanwhile, my daughter's losing out on going to Harvard. You know, this is something that's crushing for all of us, right? More for others. I feel worse for my daughter than I do anything that, I can't go see Pearl Jam. All right, whatever, dude. I look at her and her face and how dejected she is about that. It's brutal. It's brutal. So I need this. We need this little getaway. You know what I mean? Because this is all we have. The only other thing we have is the support of our families. When we go back home and we get to hang out with them and talk with them and watch TV and do whatever it is that you're doing with your families nowadays. Because, I mean, basically it's do this show and then I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Which, by the way, tomorrow, for those of you that have Sirius, we will be on Mad Dog tomorrow morning, 8 to 11. And then on Sunday, we'll be on 3 to 7. So we're doing a 7-day work week, actually, when it's all said and done. So this is tough on all of us, man. It's tough in so many ways. I know we have a lot of Americans that are going to face brutal times coming up now. Brutal. And people are going to lose their businesses left and right. You know, for us here on our podcast, we're already losing business too, because what are you going to do? Can't blame folks. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's the damn virus. But we got to respect it. And that's why I tell you that this is like our getaway. You know what I mean? After this, it's me at home watching more coronavirus coverage, you know, trying to watch some movies and all that. I think we watched 2 movies yesterday and a comedy show. Watched, what's her name? Her name is Fortune something. She's She's a heavy set girl with her. She was funny, man. Saw it on Netflix. Fortune something is her name, and that was actually really good. I laughed my ass off yesterday with that. Anyway, so that's all we got, and that's why for me, I'm pumped about this. I love the fact, and let me tell you, the optics aren't good for the NFL. That they're throwing around all this money while people are losing everything. You know what I mean? It's not good optics for the NFL. But I will say this, it's a great little getaway. Like when I get to do this for a couple of hours with you guys, maybe some of you are using this as a little getaway for yourself and enjoy. I am too. I am too. I am too, because real life is what affects you after this is done, at least for me. You know what I mean? And so I'm so glad that I'm able to do this at least for a couple of hours every day. And as long as we can do it, you know what I mean? I don't know when this is going to. I mean, I'll be able to still do it from my house, but it's a thing of coming up with all the different talking points that we're going to have. We've been fortunate that the NFL free agency has really helped us out this week. The coming weeks, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge. It'll probably be more of a life type show, and pop culture, and we'll have a little fun that way, and we'll keep it going. But we're gonna run out of sports topics to talk about.
No hypothetical.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing that I do want to stay away from. Gurley did end up signing his deal. By the way, a 1-year, $5 million contract with the Atlanta Falcons, and they had to release him yesterday because at 4 o'clock they were going to owe him $10.5 million, and they knew he wasn't worth it at this point. That's why they were dying. They weren't even thinking of restructuring or anything like. They wanted to get rid of him, take the cap hit, and move on. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. So for me, I explained to you why Jordan Howard makes all the sense in the world for the Miami Dolphins, because he fills a role, and that's how they do things. They're not going to have one back that does it all, and you can in today's world.